Charles Barkley, who is known to be the most honest guy in televised sports. I love Charles Barkley, but I'm watching everybody bend to the worship of women mentality that we have here in America. We put out these silly movies, The Woman King. We put out Wakanda Forever, where women are saving the world and there's no men. And if there is a man, all they do is what a woman tells them to do. We're building this fantasy world around women are the greatest thing in the world. And Charles Barkley is now even in on it. He told People magazine, I believe last week, it started circulating, some of these American companies will get off their A's and get these girls endorsements so they don't have to go overseas to play in the off season. And he's basically talking about WNBA players need to be paid like NBA players. This is this worship of women mentality that WNBA basketball players that are making $160,000, $200,000 a year for playing a game that very few people are interested in watching. $160,000 to $200,000 for playing a game that virtually no one is interested in watching. So these WNBA players are between the ages of basically 22 and 35. And they're making $100,000 to $200,000 to maybe $225,000 playing basketball. And we somehow think they're being treated poorly. They play about 30, 40 games during the summer. 30 to 40 games, and they get a check for $200,000, close to. They get a six-figure salary for playing 30 games of basketball during the summer with hardly anyone watching. This is between the ages of 22 and 35. This takes up about 3 months worth of their time. For 3 months, someone 22 to 35 will get paid close to $200,000 for playing a game. Are you kidding me? And I'm supposed to feel sorry for them? I'm supposed to feel like they're being taken advantage of and mistreated? I used to be 22. When I got out of college, I made $5 an hour working for the Bloomington Herald-Times. I can't do the math anymore. Can't remember, but probably my first year out of college, I think I made around $14,000 at age 22 or 23. I made with a college diploma, working, and was happy about it. Didn't feel like I was oppressed. I got what I deserved. I spent so much time in college playing football and drinking beer that when I got out, I wasn't qualified for a full-time job that probably would have paid me at that time $26,000 a year if I had been qualified for full-time work. But I wasn't qualified, so I had to get in where I fit in and work my way up. This is the path for most young people. But we're crying about basketball players? In a sport, in a league that loses $15 to $20 million a year and is totally subsidized by men in the men's league? The worship of women is driving us nuts and making us do things that make no logical sense. We're operating off emotion. We're operating off of, we want everybody to feel good, and we want everybody to feel good about us. And so let me go out here, Charles Barkley, who's got the reputation as one of the most outspoken people in sports. Let me go out here and tell everybody what they want to hear. Companies need to ante up for women's basketball players because they're so important. This is a clown society when we are focused is on, hey, can we get women's basketball players paid more money or any athlete more money? They're not doing something important. But what they want to happen is they want to build these women basketball players up into idols no different than LeBron James and Deshaun Watson and I like Patrick Mahomes, but Patrick Mahomes and all these other useful idiot athletes who don't do anything important for society. They want them built up as idols because those guys have spent so much time developing their physical attributes that they're really on the short bus. And I'm just sorry. I used to be an athlete. I used to be a dumb jock. And even the smart jocks, many of them were dumb in comparison. And they lived a pampered, privileged life. I was a mid-major college football player and was treated like royalty at my high school. Let alone how Jeff George was treated. Let alone how LeBron James and all these other guys that are superstar athletes get treated. But those are the perfect people the puppet masters want to develop into influencers because they're too stupid to think beyond what's best for them. And so all these female athletes, from Megan Rapinoe to Diana Taurasi to Brittany Griner, they want to develop them into useful idiots to influence the culture. And they want to do it in the WNBA because anybody that knows anything about the WNBA knows that the WNBA is an alphabet mafia league. Talk to any straight woman who had the misfortune of playing in the WNBA. Listen to what they say about that league. Who runs it, what kind of bullying goes on, what the sexual pressure is in the WNBA. And so they got Charles Barkley out there. He doesn't know it. He's been a pampered athlete his whole life. Again, I like Charles. But my God, this guy was a freak of nature in 7th and 8th grade. He's been a pampered athlete his whole life, treated like royalty his whole life. He has no idea that this promotion of the WNBA isn't about fairness or equality. It's about the alphabet mafia and building up these women and this league as an idol so that our kids will follow the lead of Brittany Griner, who went on stage at the Image Awards with her hair cut looking like Colin Kaepernick Jr., or Trevor Noah. They want more of that in front of our kids as idols, as people we worship, as people that, oh, look at they make millions of dollars for playing 30 games of basketball that nobody watches. That's who you should listen to, baby girl. That's your role model, Brittany Griner.